It has been a bumpy ride for the Lake Superior and Mississippi Scenic Rail Line in West Duluth in recent years. That tourist train is along the route of a major overhaul of the Western Waterfront Trail and had been in jeopardy of being cut short. But a new compromise recently proposed by the city of Duluth would keep the line intact. That's a relief to Joel Manns, president of the LS&M Railroad. And also here is Lisa Locola, assistant manager of Duluth's Parks and Rec Department. And thanks to both of you for coming in.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joel, this has to be good news to you who have, and all the folks who have been really fighting to keep the rail line intact.
It is very good news. We've faced a lot of uncertainty for a number of years at this, which makes it hard to advance a lot of programs and so on, because when you don't know you're going to survive, you can't reach out and generate new revenues and so on. So we're very pleased. And I think it's not only a victory for us, but it's also for the city for what this rail line offers. And it's not just a train ride, it's an experience of the St. Louis River. And we make it accessible for people who will not be able to walk the Western Waterfront Trail. So
Lisa, how did the city and the railroad come to a compromise?
Well, we've been working on this for a little over 2 years now? 2 to 3 years now. Joel and I have been in a lot of meetings together, spent a lot of time together. And I think what came down to it is we looked at all of our city resources, our goals throughout our city system, and realized that we really needed to maximize access, equitable access to the waterfront that's owned by the city. And to do so, we wanted to create opportunities both to restore and maintain our cultural resources, and then create some opportunities for that envisioned full connection of walking, pedestrian access, and water access along the river. So I think we struck a nice balance. We're cautiously optimistic that working with a lot of our stakeholders, there's other folks at the table other than LSMR that will help us find some solutions to some tricky situations as far as being confined by space.
What were some of the challenges related to the trail and or the U.S. Steel cleanup that made the city really start thinking that maybe the rail line would have to be cut short or a portion of it would have to be cut out?
Yeah, I think one is always, finances. So looking at how we can balance that. So some of the segments of the trail expansion will be a little bit more costly than others. That's where we're going to get creative. We've engaged consultants on a national level who have experience working on finding solutions to these sometimes tight constraints with rail and trail together, and so I think we'll find some interesting solutions.
Joel, were these negotiations the reason the railroad had such a late start this summer, or was that something totally different?
No, we had some mechanical issues, and it was a problem that was beyond the scope of our people to take care of, and so we had to go to some commercial solutions. And we're pretty small potatoes in the grand scheme of things in railroading.
You're up and running now?
Yes, we are, and we'll be running through October 20th.
Oh, you'll be running through most of the fall season.
Yes.
Or a good chunk of the fall season then. What are you running, like 2 coaches a trip, or how do you do that?
Every trip will have 2 coaches and then an open air car.
I see.
And as the weather gets colder, the coaches become more popular than
It's
the
a
open
great
air
ride,
car.
I've been on it, so.
Now, I understand you're an all-volunteer organization.
Yes.
And a while back we had some representatives on the show talking about a study that was being done.
Oh, yes.
What were the findings of that, and how did maybe that enter into the dialogue with the city?
Well, this was conducted by the UMD School of Business and their folks, and it found that we have a financial impact in the city. As small as we are, we're responsible for generating about $1.3 million of revenue. Not us directly, but people buying meals and so on, plus us. And if we can expand a bit, we have a potential up to $1.6 million or more per year. So it's a very significant part of the tourism industry.
What is it that brings people out there and makes them want to ride the rails? Is it the history? Is it kind of a romance of just railroads in general? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. We have some very diehard train fans who ride, who come from great distance, but we're also, it's not just the train ride. I like to say we're telling a story of the river and the people who made Duluth and how Duluth came to form. We're on the route of the original train from 1870, the then Lake Superior and Mississippi
Yeah.
Railroad. And we tell them, leave 2019 behind and go to put your mind into the turn of the 20th century. And imagine what that was like to ride at 10 miles an hour to St. Paul.
Yeah. So Lisa, what now are the priorities for the city and for the railroad?
Well, we'll be bringing forward our final recommendation to Parks Commission in September. Then we'll be working with bringing that to our City Council for final approval, which will, as mentioned, be a rail and trail option for the Western Waterfront. And then we have 7.1 miles of trail to start building. So segment by segment, we hope to make those connections. We have the original 3.3 miles that were built in the 80s, and we just hope to offer that opportunity for people to get on the river, near the river, now that we've had all these cleanups and opportunities to really look at the health and the restoration of our shoreline and our land and our water. We want to get people there.
Do you anticipate that there will be disruptions in service because of the project as you go forward?
The disruptions primarily I see are because of the U.S. Steel cleanup. Our line goes through virtually a chunk of that cleanup, and we face a potential shutdown for 2 to 3 years. But we have some solutions in mind that might keep us going that we put forward, and hopefully maybe we'll just have some minor inconveniences and not a major shutdown for that time frame.
And does it seem like U.S. Steel has an appetite for helping you put things back together again after things are
I think
pulled
things
apart?
improved. When it was first brought up, we were left the impression they're going to tear up the tracks as part of the cleanup, and it was debatable whether they're even going to put them back. We're now, in talking with the people we've been assured, they're going to put them back. In fact, they're not going to take most of it out. There'll be just some bridge work done.
Yeah.
So I think they're coming along to help us also.
Well, fall is always a beautiful time to explore our region, and hopefully folks will come out and ride the rails and do a little leaf watching with you this
We
year.
hope so. It's a great place to
Thanks
enjoy
for
the
coming
colors.
in. Congratulations.
Thank you both so much.